Right, so today we're going to go through and use ChatGPT to revitalize product interest. And the way we're going to do that is to use a quiz or survey to rekindle that interest. We're going to be doing that in a very unique case. We're going to pick up a niche online dating service. And the community has generally a positive attitude, but since COVID, the membership has actually decreased by about 50%, and we want to use ChatGPT to help build that back up. So, first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get some feedback from real people who have been in the dating scene and research what they're actually saying about their dating struggles. So we asked ChatGPT to go through and review some user-generated content from very common websites such as Trustpilot, Reddit, YouTube, and see what's a repeat complaint. What are some of the common patterns? And with some of these repeat ideas, if we get them many times, we're going to take these pain points and these, we could call them categories of a problem, and use that as part of our quiz to kind of rekindle their interest, because it's going to hit them right where they live. So we did that, and some of the pain points that came up and what some of their dream outcomes would be. But here's some of the things. So people not emotionally available after COVID, feel too old, feel like it's just hookup culture, and here's some of the things that they tried and didn't work. And these are like repeated answers. People have said this again and again and again. Lowered standards and regretted it. And then also, it's very important to go through and find out what is the dream outcome. So the survey results also mention that. Finding someone that is family oriented, someone that they can trust, a long-term partner. And from doing this research, we're actually able to pattern a very effective quiz. The next thing is finding out what works. So we asked ChatGPT to research strategies for success, and that also helps color our quiz. And after we've done that, then we're going to ask ChatGPT what our actual goals are. So the goal is to create a survey which will reignite their interest in creating and finding a meaningful, harmonious relationship. So we asked ChatGPT to create 30-question survey out of this. And in our case, the name of this website is going to be Free Spirit Singles. And we can see from recent results that there's been a lot of decreased membership. So we create surveys for that community, and we're going to use wording that will use everything that came up in the research that we did. So perception of loneliness, things they're looking for as far as harmonious family and relationships that are long-lasting. So these questions and possible answers are what we're going to feed into Sellarator AI to have it come up with the perfect questions. So typically we go with about 30 questions to really engage somebody. It's kind of not too much, too little. And here's some examples of the questions. Is how often do you feel lonely or isolated? And Do you believe loving relationships contribute to a better life overall? Have you used online dating before? Do you trust online dating sites? And then, depending on the answers, we're going to be able to generate a final outcome, which will give them a call to action. So, for example, also, what is your ideal future partner? Kindness and understanding, emotional maturity, what are they most looking for? Now, these questions might seem a little bit boring to some, but there is some trick ways to make it more, say, juicy or engaging. And here's an interesting suggestion that you can give to ChatGPT. You're actually looking for dynamic outcomes. So everybody who answers is going to land in a different archetype. So in this case, we have 5 different results. They can be just ready for real love, hopeful but hesitant, disconnected but curious, healing before connecting. And any of these 5 is where someone will land, and then they'll have a different call to action as a result. So when they answer a question, they can have different value tags based on what they set. That will leave them to, what is their situation. They're telling us what is their problem and what they're looking for. So in our case, if it's looking for love, ready for love, well, then it's time to just take their account and renew it, right? If they're hopeful but hesitant, they can do a short trial. If they're need healing, well, then there are some Facebook groups that they can be part of to talk about their problems. And we can apply this to all the answers to find out where do they land at the end of the day. We can also, as part of the program, create abbreviations to determine, which is which, ready for love, hopeful but hesitant. And finding what is the right outcome can generate more interest in a person finishing it. So we assign the points to the answers, and after 30 questions, the person will figure out a lot more about themselves even. Now there is another way to make it more fun and thought-provoking, and that's quite simply to be very direct with ChatGPT and just simply ask it to make questions that are more fun to answer and maybe a little bit more thought-provoking as well. So if we're optimizing our questions, then we can go through, take those same 30 questions, have ChatGPT revamp them, and it can just make it more fun and engaging, and also boost completion rates for the quizzes. Some of the questions will evoke deeper reflection, more of an emotional response, and will help a person kind of rekindle their interest. So let's take a look at how that would be. So in this case, it can be something along the line of with to do with perception of loneliness. When was the last time you felt truly seen and understood by someone? All of these answers will have the number tag values. If loneliness had a color, such and such. If love were a garden, what would you want to grow with a partner? What lights you up most about the idea of being in a loving relationship? And value tags for all of the answers. Alright, so now that we went through and we created this beautiful quiz, okay, good. So this is a good example of using ChatGPT to create a quiz. But how would that fit in with your business? Well, we do have the solution with Sellarator AI. It's actually quite simple. So you take the description of your business, what you do, and you can either cut and paste it from your website directly into this field above, and it will go through and, based on that, create the quiz as well as all of the pain points and quiz categories, and it will go through and, depending on what you wrote, generate 30 questions that are thought-provoking and interesting to answer, and give exact results that can then be used to close any customer. So in our case here, we have revitalizing dating, and you can see if they click an answer, it highlights it and it leads through to the final destination. But a customer would not necessarily see the different value tags that go to each question. They would just want to get through to the end to find out, where they stand on things. And using Sellarator, hold on. Good, so we hope that you enjoyed this demonstration. If you want to try with your own business to see what would be a great quiz that you can use for marketing purposes, then you can go through and click the link in the description. And also be sure to like and subscribe, as there's going to be a lot more content to do with exactly how to create quizzing marketing software. You're going to have a lot of fun, as you'll see. Some of these questions you'll see will really apply to your market base, probably in ways that you haven't seen before. And great, and we hope to see you again.